Rich or poor? And do we have a choice? Have you ever wondered how a rich person was able to accumulate so much money and wealth? Perhaps you've taken notice of a poor person and found it perplexing or even upsetting that he just didn't have any money no matter how hard he worked. So, what determines who will be rich and who will be poor? The reality is that your money mindset helps you determine whether you're going to be rich or poor. Today on the Productive Not Busy podcast with me, Wayne Weathersby.
You're listening to the Productive Not Busy podcast, where our mission is to make you more money so you'll have less stress and more free time. It's all about mindset, attitude, and taking action. And your host, Wayne Weathersby, knows how to make that happen. He's negotiated and closed over $150 million in contracts while building businesses with proven success strategies that he wants to share with you. So if you're ready to make some real money, then let's get to it. Here's Coach Wayne.
This podcast is going to address the differences between the mindset of the rich and poor people when it comes to money. Each section explores a specific way of thinking about money and the widely contrasting views taken by the rich and the poor. You'll be enlightened about how you can alter what you think, feel, and believe about money in order to think rich. Rich and poor think differently about the money. Consider the following stories detailing the lives of a person who thinks poor and another one who thinks rich. We're going to use Paul. Paul appears to struggle financially, although he's a hard worker, right? He speaks often of not having enough money to pay his bills. Paul sees himself as a poor victim of life, all the circumstances, okay? When you talk to Paul, he wonders aloud why he can't ever get anywhere financially. Now, on the other hand, James is a busy guy. People who know him say he's very focused on his goals and his dreams. If someone wants him to do a job, he figures out a way to do it, get it done. He's say yes to everything. James researches possible new investments. He knows you have to invest money to make money. James thinks about and plans for his financial future all the time. He recognizes he's in control of his situation, current and future. Okay? So Paul and James have very different mindsets. This is where we're going with this. Paul thinks like a poor person. He openly focuses on negatives in his life, especially when it comes to money. His entire persona, right, revolves around positions of having no money or capacity to get ahead financially. Paul feels powerless and blames external circumstances for his financial situation. Now, my buddy, on the other hand, James, spends the bulk of his thoughts, time, and efforts ensuring his future and financial success. He's flexible about the work he accepts and believes it's worth it to invest his dollars to produce more money. James believes only he has the power and the responsibility for his financial security and stabilization. And he determined that he's going to make it and make the most of it. Do you believe that anyone can become wealthy? Now, if he has the proper mindset, absolutely. By the same token, can you see how your mindset largely determines whether you're on your way to building affluence or creating sabotage in your own financial life? Read on however you like into this, right? Listen and learn more about the differences in the rich and the poor mindsets. Oprah Winfrey, right? She had a great saying, "I don't think of myself as a poor, deprived ghetto girl who made good. I think of myself as somebody who, from an early age, knew I was responsible for myself, and I had to make good on that." Now, so we have what we call the first mindset, which is lack versus abundance. Lack versus abundance mindset. An important contrast now in how poor people and rich people think is there's not enough mindset versus look at all the ways to increase my wealth, right? It's a way of thinking. You might say that the poor person's view of money with a lack mindset, there's not enough money to go around, right? There's not enough. There's nothing to do to make money. And this is all I can expect from my life. I'm being held back. Okay. Now, the wealthy person, on the other hand, recognizes there's abundance everywhere. Wealthy people notice that abundance, seek to attract it, and take advantage of the events and situations around them. They see how low hanging fruit right in front of them and know that they have all they have to do is pluck it off the tree, right? The rich think about cash flow and how to make it happen. Right? When opportunity knocks, right? That's another one. Throughout life, you encounter many opportunities that could affect your existence in a variety of ways, of course. People who think poor often fail to notice the opportunities that are sitting right around them. And when they do, the poor person's first thoughts are to what it will cost them to take advantage of the opportunity. The wealthy person, on the other hand, views these junctures more differently. We're going to get back to Paul and James. See, Paul works full time, but doesn't make as much money as he would like. He tries to find a part-time job at the local discount home improvement store first, let's say, but it just never pans out. In his neighborhood of smaller homes, several single parents struggle to take care of their property due to working all the time. Lawns need mowing, bushes need trimming, homes and driveways need pressure washing. When Paul drives down the street, he thinks, I wish these families would just take care of their properties. One day, when he was chatting with his disabled neighbor, let's call the neighbor Sam, Sam said, I wish I was able to mow those people's lawns. It would be a great way to spruce up the neighborhood and earn some extra cash. Paul looked at him and says, well, it would be a lot of wear and tear on your lawnmower. Plus, think of what it would cost for the gas for your mower. And gosh, it would take up your whole day and most likely your weekend. Now, on the other hand, James lives a few blocks away from Paul and Sam. James, too, drives by all the homes requiring maintenance. One Saturday, James mows his own lawn. He drove down the street and thought, hey, why don't I contact these folks and see if they need their lawn mowed and offer to do it for a reasonable price? Okay, it would cost me some time, the use of my mower and more gas, but I also stand to make some money for doing a little bit of extra work that will help everyone. Let's see, if I charge $35 and mow just 3 lawns once weekly, I'd make an extra $100 a week. I could do the mowing on Saturdays or Sundays. I think I'll stop at these houses right now and offer my services. Taking action, see? As you see, Paul did not see the opportunity that presented itself. And when Sam mentioned something he could tend to the yards for extra money for himself, Paul responded with a litany of that opportunity would cost something. James, on the other hand, had his eyes wide open. When a chance to make some extra money presented itself, he figured up what he could make and move ahead with the idea. You're right. Paul is thinking poor and James is thinking rich. Who do you think will be earning the extra $100 a week? In Jim Rohn's book, he says everything we would ever need to become rich and powerful and sophisticated is within our reach. The major reason that so few take advantage of all that we have is simply neglect. Now, the next thing on the horizon is investing. It seems feasible to believe that everyone wants their dollar to grow, right? After all, If you got a choice between making money, maintaining what you've got, and losing money, aren't you going to choose making money? I think so. Investing money can be scary. Someone who thinks poor will react to a down investment market by holding on tighter to their funds, most likely. They'll fear losing their money. He figures he can't afford to take the risk. A poor person experiences great difficulty looking past the fear of losing money to the possibilities of actually making money on an investment. Yet, if you take a look around, the wealthy people do just the opposite whenever the bottom drops out of a market. When stocks are at their lowest and the economy is at the scariest, people like Warren Buffett will tell you it's time to take action. It's time to save money by buying high performing stocks, let's say. The rich are excited about the prospect of making more money from a new investment. They're willing to spend some time to research individual stocks and stock market atmosphere to make the most informed investment. Plus, rich thinking people will listen to the advice of the wealthy and watch to see how the affluent are behaving in such a market. Right? They're keeping an eye on their surroundings. The rich person will consider how much he stands to make from an investment, and he'll look up the historical and current earnings for that investment and search and research the stock. Now, the per se poor person hold on tight or consumed with fear and come from a how much will I lose perspective. The rich go after information and remain open to the possibilities that they'll make more money and spring forward to make the investment from that position. How much will I make? Okay. What I'm saying is there's a difference between short term and long term thinking. One of the crazy characteristics of people who are poor is the over focus on short term money issues. Concerns like there's no money left after paying the bills stifles one's ability to look further down the financial road to grow their money over time. Rich people recognize the importance of long term thinking when it comes to finances. The rich know that getting hung up on how will I pay the mortgage next month skews one's money focus away from the future. If you think about the fact that your money will build for you over time as the affluent do, you'll focus less on the short term picture. After all, thinking short term will stand in the way of long term success. Plus, when you have long term about your financial life, you'll do whatever is necessary to save now. Planning ahead is a measure of class. The rich and even the middle class for future generations. But unfortunately, the poor can plan ahead only a few weeks or days. Gloria Steinem. Okay. So let's look at price versus value. When it comes to shopping and spending money, the poor and the wealthy have very different mindsets about how to handle their money. The poor tend to adopt the mindset of shopping for the cheapest buys and focusing only on the immediate cost. The poor person asks, how much is it cost? In contrast, the more wealthy person think of the long-term value of owning whatever it is that they're thinking about buying. As the poor think, gosh, this is such a great deal. I can't pass it up, but I've got to buy it for this price. The rich consider issues like, is this item good for or exceptional quality? How long will the item last? And how will I use it enough to get more than my money's worth? Consider another example with let's go back to Paul and James. Paul goes shopping at the local home improvement store and spots the latest lawnmower for sale. He thinks, wow, that is a great price. How can I pass it up? James browses the same store aisles. He spots the sale sign above the lawnmower display and he considers this is a good price. Is this mower more sturdy though? Will it help me be more efficient when I mow? Could I use it to make more money? Will I spend less time mowing if I buy this mower? I think my money would be better spent on a new blade for my current lawnmower, which runs just fine. Okay. While the poor are seeking cheap pricing, the rich mindset is not to buy anything that doesn't fulfill a purpose or that won't have long lasting values. Don't be surprised to hear the rich person say, it's not a good deal if you don't need it, or it's just not going to be a value for me in a year or two. The real source of wealth And capital in this era is not material things. It is the human mind, the human spirit, the human imagination, and our faith in the future. That was said by Steve Forbes. So, who's the boss? Have you ever noticed that usually the business owner has more money than the employee? When it comes to differences in the rich and the poor mindset, think about who's the boss. The poor are either trying to find a job, wanting to get a job, or making an effort to keep and hold on to a job. They report to others and earn a paycheck. Poor people rarely look further than their next check. Now, interestingly, the rich prefer to work for themselves. They strive to be their own boss. They prefer to reap more of the profits that their work yields. The rich have confidence in their ability to make decisions and run their businesses. The mindset is smart enough and responsible enough to be my own boss. Plus, I'll make more money and accomplish more goals. Now, bear in mind that although there's nothing wrong with being an honest employee, I'm not saying that. It's wise to avoid allowing yourself to become comfortable with someone else being your boss or being a malcontent because your boss has the money and you don't. So you're going to make sure that everybody around you is as miserable as possible because you're mad because he has all the money and you don't. Be your own boss and do everything you can to develop your idea. You could grow wealthy by taking charge of your own work life. Don't be bitter. Besides, when you trade your time for dollars as an employee, there's only so far you can go and only so much money to be made in that position. When you reap the benefits of others' time as an employee, there's no limit to your earnings. So, dealing with challenges, a key aspect of life dealing with all kinds of challenges, right? Money challenges will happen, and they usually are magnified. And whether you have the poor or the rich mindset will largely determine how you deal with these special financial situations. When an unexpected challenge takes place, poor people tend to make all kinds of excuses. They feel psychologically overwhelmed, become emotional, and avoid confronting the challenging or doing anything constructive by trying to explain why the troublesome event occurred. The rich person, however, again, show their different mindset through their responses. When met with a financial challenge, okay, a rich person they begin right away to problem solve. They front the issue to figure out how to make the situation work. They think creatively to seek solutions to the troublesome situation. You might say that let's say the rich people rise up to meet the challenge, while the poor people focus on finding excuses for trying situations. Now, I'm not pigeonholing people. Not everybody is like this. I'm just saying a vast majority of the people that are in the position that they're in is because of their mindset. It's not about equal opportunity or equal outcome. It's about mindset. Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe, it can achieve." Thoughts are things, and powerful things at that. When mixed with the definitive of purpose and burning desire, it can be translated into riches. So next we talk about power. It might sound redundant to say that feeling empowered is powerful, okay? Yet when it comes to comparing how rich and poor people approach their financial lives, feeling empowered galvanize the rich into positive action. Plain and simple. Poor people see themselves as victims or circumstance when it comes to their money. Rich people truly believe they can create the life that they want. The rich take responsibility, control, and action when it comes to their finances. Plus, having the mindset to believe you'll be successful at something most likely means that you'll achieve whatever your mindset and whatever you set your mind to. Rather than sit idly back and behave like a victim who has experienced some terrible circumstance, rich people see the power that they have in their own lives and they use it. And remember, there's a ton of rich people out there that started in poverty. Okay. George Clayson said, "Money is plentiful for those who understand the simple laws which govern its acquisition." Leads me into dreams. Our dreams are made up of those wonderful things that we want to have happen in our lives. Have you ever considered that your dreams largely determine the direction of your life? Dreams are, in a sense, really a part of your mindset. What you think about and wish for is closely connected. Do you spend some time each day thinking about your dreams? It's a question. Poor people tend to dream small. It's feasible that their fears of failure prevent poor people from having big dreams. The most they believe they can hope for is getting a dollar an hour raise at work or getting, a bit of money back from their income tax. Rich people, on the other hand, they dream of starting their own business and making 50 to $100,000 a month, right? Big dreams. It stands to reason that people do everything possible to make their dreams come true. If your dreams are small and limited, so too will be your success. Guaranteed. Zig Ziglar used to say, the greatest good we can do for others is just to share our riches with them, but to reveal theirs. One of the things that you can do to change your mindset and get where you want to be is learning. When you examine your beliefs and thoughts about learning, what is your reaction? That's a question. What is your reaction? Do you have an open and accepting mindset when it comes to taking in new information? Or do you find yourself feeling you already know all there is to know about success and money and dreams? Yeah, I know. Hashtag. When it comes to poor people, their minds are often closed to learning. The poor see learning about money management and how to make more money as a waste of time. After all, they believe they understand money and what it takes to earn it. They systematically believe that they don't have money because there isn't any left after, like, paying their bills. The poor's minds are closed to new ideas. On the other hand, the mindset of the richer folks related to learning is much different. Those who think constantly seek more knowledge about money. They recognize that there's always new tidbits related to finances that, when applied, will help their money multiply. The more your mind is open to new financial knowledge, the richer you'll be. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but a gentleman named Jack Canfield said, I teach something called the law of probabilities, which says the more things you try, the more likely one of them will work. The more books you read, the more likely one of them will have an answer to a question that could solve the major problems of your life, make you wealthier, solve a health problem, whatever it might be. Great words. Cash flow, right? I see folks that are not really successful playing this Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant game, right? I'll keep my opinions to myself. I wouldn't be playing a game. I'd be fixing my mindset towards that. Understanding cash flow and how it keeps you financially solvent is an integral to living a stable financial life. Your cash flows in from your paycheck, side jobs, dividends, interest paid on stocks, whatever, investments. Then cash flows out to pay good and bad debt. The key to financial success is to cultivate ways to increase your cash flow. Poor people pay attention. Actually, they pay little attention to the concept of cash flow. Instead, they do things like spend all the money they get and hoard the material items that they purchase with their money. And when they experience a financial crisis, what good will those material items do for them? Wealthy people, however, understand and apply the basic principles of cash flow. Their mindset is to use the knowledge they've gained regarding cash flow to make their money work for them. Rich people understand the necessity of cultivating as much monthly cash flow as possible. Also important, the affluent keep an eye on the cash for expenses that flow out. Rich people have the mindset that their finances on a day to day basis largely depend on their cash flow, not their cash spent. They focus on developing more streams of incoming cash and limiting outgoing cash unless it's considered to be good debt. So, what is good debt? I'm glad you asked. Good debt is a debt that, when paid, will ultimately result in more profit later to you. Here's an example of good debt. You buy 10 boxes of chocolates at a price of $5 per box, totaling $50. You already have buyers for the candy who will pay you $10 a box. totaling 100. Your total profits will be 50. So the $50 in debt that you pay up front for the candy is good debt because you'll get back that amount plus a profit of 50 when you sell the candy. This good debt will actually ultimately increase your cash flow. You make money on good debt. Super simple example. I just wanted to paint a picture for you there. The contrast to good debt is, you got it, bad debt. Bad debts are monies you pay out that bring you nothing in return. Your cable bill is a bad debt because it yields you no profit. It's fair to say that poor people tend to experience cash flow struggles because they don't focus much on increasing incoming cash and decreasing outgoing cash unless it pays bad debts. Rich people build income, cash flow, and consider paying good debts to make profits and thus increase cash flow as the smart thing to do to keep their building their wealth. Researching this topic, David Botch says, the more I study the wealthy in an effort to learn how to help more people around the world become one of them, I'm stunned by how many people are actually not rich. So, we're going to talk a few things about tips on changing your mindset. Now that you have a better grasp regarding the numerous differences in the mindsets of the rich and the poor people, you might want to change some aspects of your own mindset when it comes to your money. I want you to try these tips to transform your mindset so you too can live a rich life. Now, I'm talking about rich and poor in mindset. See, everybody's automatically going to lean towards talking about poor people, middle class people, upper class people. I'm not talking about the rich and the poor people. I'm talking about a rich and a poor mindset. This whole thing is about mindset. So before everybody loses their handle here about me talking bad about people, I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about a mindset that, and I'm using people as an example. Okay. So I want you to try these tips to transform your mindset. So you got to use affirmations. Now, remember, I'm a big proponent of affirmations are bullshit unless you take action on them. Affirmations are just words, but you have to take action on those words in order for it to make it happen. So hear me out. Affirmations. Use affirmations to alter your concepts and beliefs about money. Affirmations are saying you recite to yourself throughout the day. You allow yourself time to repeat and reread an affirmation many times, you'll soon believe the ideas behind the affirmations you're repeating so that you can take action on those, right? Here are some wealth affirmations you might like, right? I am open to all opportunities to make money that come my way. I see the power I have over my own finances. When money challenges happen, I take every step to meet them head on and take active steps to resolve them. Okay. Number two, we're going to talk self positive talk. Another effective way to change your mindset is to use positive self talk. When you talk to yourself about money, focus on being as positive as possible. Here's an example. I know what I can create another income stream this month for sure. I know I can do it. To make extra money, I can help my friend Sarah run her cafe on Saturdays. Plus, I can wash my elderly neighbor's car each month, something that produces positive cash flow. Here's another one. Took me 48, 49 years before I tried it, but it works. Meditation is an excellent method to manage stress and clear your mind. A mind that is less stressed and tested and rested, excuse me, less stressed and rested is more open to developing new, positive, more effective money mindset. Visualization. Similar to meditation, visualization techniques involve imagining a picture in your mind of what you want to have happen. You might form an image of sitting on a bed surrounded by piles of money or relaxing on a vacation you paid for in cash that you earned after you got some extra leveraged cash flow. Visualization techniques allow you to set up the image that will be most compelling for you, reinforcing and successful in adapting the mindset towards you becoming richer. Journaling works great. Journaling, when you journal your thoughts, ideas, and feelings about money, you can increase your mental clarity and really spot ineffective ways you're managing your funds. Also, journaling will allow you to consider more efficient ways of thinking about your money. Journaling is a powerful way to change your financial mindset. Number six, spend some time with people who have, ding, 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 the rich mindset. No doubt one of those best methods to transform your money mindset is to hang out with those who already live the life that you're trying to accomplish and apply the positive, effective ideas and beliefs of those people. Plus, you can simply, by observing how those friends manage their money, plus you'll be privy to conversations about their lives, which will reveal much information about their successful money mindset. Next, you want to model your behavior and develop the beliefs about money that your affluent friends share. If you do, you'll change your money mindset in freaking no time. And then you want to develop a business mastermind group. A mastermind group is usually made up of a smaller number of people that have a variety of experience and interest in life, yet all are seeking the same common goal: success in their business lives. You can search for a compatible group online or in your own community. Okay, so in summary, Paul and James are probably both nice fellas. They work hard. They want the best lives they can have. But their money mindsets place them eons apart on the scale. What Paul and James believe about money and their own capacity to successfully deal with money and make decisions determine their financial situations. Paul thinks poor, James thinks rich. Again, I'm not talking about poor people and rich people. I'm talking about poor mindset versus rich mindset. Your mindset about money largely determines the kind of financial life you're going to lead, plain and simple. Those who think their lives have abundance are thinking rich, while those who take on a lack perspective are thinking poor. When opportunities are right in front of people, those people snatch them up and take advantage of them, are thinking rich. Poor people tend to avoid investments as they have fears about how much money they can lose. Rich people, upon hearing about an investment, explore it with an open mind and consider, how much money can I make doing this? Rich mindset people don't allow their fears to prevent them from going for it. If it scares you, that means it's worth doing. Poor people think about their money in short term, while rich people consider long term effects of their choices related to money. Poor mindset people concern themselves with the price of something rather than its actual value to their lives. When it comes to dealing with challenges, poor mindset people tend to look for an excuse with someone to blame for the terrible things that have happened. On the other hand, rich people rise up to confront the challenge and figure out ways to make things work in favor. The person who thinks poor has the mindset that he has no power. He is a victim of unfortunate circumstance. He doesn't consider he can actually do something about it. Hashtag take action. A rich person holds the opposite mindset. He recognizes the power that he has in his own life and finances and makes it happen. Poor mindset people dream small. Rich mindset people dream big. This mindset determines how far a person will go to accomplish his or her goals. Let me rephrase that. Say it again. The mindset determines how far a person will go to accomplish their goals. The bigger the dreams, the more you'll push to achieve them. Learning is an important aspect of one's mindset when it comes to money. Poor people are averse to learning and don't see exposing themselves to new information as important. They're too worried and busy listening to the news on why someone is making them poor, giving them a disadvantage. Their minds are closed. Rich mindset people have a thirst for knowledge, especially related to their money and finances, especially, and will do whatever necessary to gain valuable info into that and apply it to their lives. Poor mindset people will pay little attention to ideas related to cash flow. They think it's beyond them. A rich mindset person, however, is poised to consider all the aspects of the cash flow: incoming, outgoing, good versus bad. When I say good versus bad, that's bad versus good debt. In order to alter your money mindset to that of a wealthy person, many helpful techniques are available. Some of them are using affirmations and positive self talk, practicing meditation and visualization, journaling, hanging out with friends who have a rich mindset, and develop a business mastermind group. Safety in numbers. Use this podcast to explore your money mindset and take steps to transform how you think about that. You have the power to change your money mindset. Don't let Twitter, CNN, Fox, whatever it is that you use, teach you your mindset on money. Learn to think rich and live the life you desire. Okay? There's a gentleman out there named Mike Todd, has one of my favorite sayings ever. Being broke is a temporary situation. Being poor is a state of mind. Thanks for joining us. You guys have a great day. Be safe, take care, sell a bunch, and say something nice to somebody.
You've been listening to the Productive Not Busy podcast with Coach Wayne. Join us next time for more money-making strategies to help you have less stress and more free time. Follow us on Facebook at Productive Not Busy, on Instagram at frontline.coach.wayne, and on Twitter at Wayne New Jr. And remember, be productive, not busy.
Hey, before we get the show started, I just want to say thanks to some of our sponsors. First of all, I'd like to thank Ohana Guitar Company. See, Ohana Guitar Company is a custom guitar shop with skillfully handcrafted guitars you've been looking for. Ohana features a full array of guitars, from customization set by your unique standards or traditional designs and features that you already know and love. Ohana Guitar Company uses classic tone woods for everything from the body throughout the neck and fretboard. Telecaster, Stratocaster styles are also available in addition to skillfully handmade small batch one-of-a-kind guitars. You can visit them at www.ohanaguitarcompany.com and connect with them on Twitter and Instagram at Ohana Guitar Co. We're looking forward to making Ohana a part of your guitar family and our podcast family for a long time.